What's up YouTube, Dal here from Zephyr War Games, bringing you, as requested and as promised, an update to a Blue Eyes White Dragon deck. Now do not worry, because you smashed that like button on our Dark Magician deck, you also unlocked a Red Eyes profile with a combo that will come out tomorrow. And this one is very, very spicy. It's got a nice combo that ends you on 3 Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragons and pretty much wins you the game from there. Now, with this out of the way, please smash the like button, hit the notification bell and subscribe. Get this video up to 50 likes and it will unlock another legacy deck for you guys. So exactly like that, we've done Dark Magician, we've done Red Eyes, we've done Blue Eyes. There are more to come. So every 50 likes will unlock the ability to do more legacy decks like this. With that out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into today's profile of Blue Eyes White Dragon. Now, I've tried to keep this on a base budget. What I mean by that is there are no imperms, there are no ash bottoms, there are no $50 to $60 triple tactical talents. However, the deck can still win, and I'll show you a combo towards the end of what the deck can do on its most basic level in order to win you the game. So, we start off with, of course, triple Blue Eyes White Dragon. Now, I don't have 3 of the gold, and ultimately, if I did, I probably wouldn't play them, because this, apart from the one where Blue Eyes is standing on the clock tower, this is my favourite artwork. Like, absolutely love this artwork. I think it looks, I love the dark in it. I know it's not very Blue Eyes-y, but I love the fact that it looks like it's pastel drawn, and it just looks so beautiful. Anyway. Triple Blue Eyes White Dragon, triple alternative. Now, I know I've tried to like I said, I've tried to keep this budget, but again, what I meant is, it's not a fully budget profile because you have to play alternate. Alternate hopefully will get a little bit cheaper when it comes out in a Ghost, because then I'm hoping that all of the collectors will then upgrade, which is exactly what I did. I went from Ultras to Secrets, which then mean my Ultras were like 10 quids each. But triple Blue Eyes alternate. And then we go into the spicy cards. Now I love these cards already. Double Nebula Dragon and a single Galactic Spiral Dragon. Now the reason these are all both so good is that these instigate your rank 8 plays for a Blue Eyes deck. Now, straight away, your Nebula Dragon is you can reveal this card and one other level 8 Dragon monster in your hand, special summon both in defense position, but negate their effects. You can't normal or special monsters for the rest of the turn except light or dark dragons. Not an issue. The secondary effect, you banish it and target one level 4 light or dark dragon monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. Now, this is kind of good because we do play a small Chaos Engine, but it's not the end of the world if that doesn't resolve. We've then got the Galactic Spiral Dragon, and this is one of the ones you want to get to the graveyard as early as possible, because again, while this card is in your hand or graveyard and you control 2 or more light and or dark dragon monsters, which again you will, you can special summon this card in defense position but banish it when it leaves the field. During your main phase, you can make all monsters you currently control become level 8 to the end of this turn. So you're able to turn the rest of your dragons into level 8s. And again, I'll show you the combo at the end of how you're able to do that, because then what this ultimately lets you do is this ends up getting a Link 2 and pretty much an OTK play from then on. Then for the last Blue Eyes cards, we do play the one Dragon Spirit White. You don't have to. Again, I really, really like this card, so it's just personal preference on that one. Next up as well, I do play triple Galaxy Soldier. Again, this is down to personal preference. I'm trying to keep it spicy, trying to keep it competitive as well. But what I really like about this is you're able to pretty much do a full Galaxy combo while setting up your graveyard for the future plays which you need to do, and then get you into a negate prior to even hitting your 5 summons. So at that point, you're like, right, okay, cool. I've now got an Infinity which can turn off Nibiru, can turn off one of your monster effects, can bait out monster effects, or if I'm going first, can also set up an interruption going against my opponent, which fills your board up with, technically by the time you've ended it, with 3 interruptions. A non-target bounce, a Omni Negate, and a spell or trap negate, or a monster negate, depending on which route you kind of want to go. Very, very powerful in this deck, and again, if you're not playing with budget restrictions, you can take this out, you can put in stuff like Droplet as well. Then for the last Blue Eyes cards, we do play the one White Stone of Ancient and the one White Stone of Legend. Legend is a bit more important because it gives you that search right there and then. Ancient, again, is another card you could possibly drop. Again, depending on the route you want your Blue Eyes deck to take, you can put in dangers, you can put in more of the level 1s, you can search out effect failures and everything like that. With this is like not even a secondary engine, this is like the bottom of the barrel engine. Purely because, just to get me a Blue Eyes, additional send fodder off of Galaxy Soldier, send fodder for an end phase kind of resolution, and to add a Blue Eyes back. Literally, that is it. Then because we want to compete and we want to put in hand traps, we've gone with double Ghost Ogre and the Gamma package. The Gamma package does make the deck a 41 card deck, but what it does do is they are lights. So they're additional discard fodder for easy access to Galaxy Soldier. They're also the ability to protect some of your cards as well. They're disruptions for going first and actually give you a bit more utility playing around. But again, like I said, you can take the entire engine out and you can put in 3 Ash Blossoms, 3 Imperms, whatever you want there. Then before we get onto the Chaos Engine, the last card we play is the Morphage Goliath, purely because you can stun your opponent. So not only are you going to get a non-target bounce, but you're also then going to have the ability to drop a Goliath. And if you're dropping a Goliath on your opponent, you're going to have Hope Harbinger that can redirect attacks to protect it, and you're going to have this backed up with possibly either an Infinity as well. So that's where you're pretty much able to go, right, okay, you're not going to get past this board, you're not going to be able to special summon. Next turn, my Infinity can attack, and if you put Goliath into attack, Infinity can then absorb Goliath, meaning that you can continue to special summon. So it works out nicely. And then for the Chaos Engine, we do play the 1 Black Collapse and the 1 White Wyvern. If you want to, you can play Chaos Dragon Legionnaire and Chaos Collector. The only reason I didn't do this, or didn't put in Chaos Collector, was purely because I'm not banishing consistently enough. Like, the idea is literally what you want to do is you want to Chaos Space into Black Collapse. Black Collapse will then banish the Blue Eyes or whatever light monster you've sent. You're then going to summon him down, link him off with another of your monsters to get into Link 2, trigger his effect to search out White Wyvern. Then you're going to use Chaos, you're going to banish Black Collapse to special summon down White Wyvern, use Chaos Space to put Black Collapse back to the bottom of the deck, draw 1 card, then link off the White Wyvern Buster, or by the time you've sent your Galactic Serpent, you're able to make this a level 8, make your rank 8, and then you make your plays from there. But if this gets sent to the graveyard as link material, you'll then trigger to search out your Black Collapse, and you're able to start the loop again the next turn. Triple Melody of Awakening Dragon. So, I mean, this is like your Silent Mining of the deck. This is the one card that if anyone's going to Ash, they're going to Ash it. Because you discard a card and then you get to add up to 2 Dragon monsters with 3,000 or more attack and 2,500 defense. So that's going to give you instantly access to your Blue Eyes and your Blue Eyes alternative, which means you're going to get a free level 8 on the board. And if you get a free level 8 on the board, you're then able to continue to play with Nebula Dragon and also Galactic Serpent Dragon. And of course, that is your other monster on the board that can either be a pop if you're going second, or can be used as link material to go into your Link 2, triggering off your Black Collapse, and off you go. Triple Chaos Space, again, you're only going to be sending lights. So the majority of your deck, I think you play like 2 darks. So the majority of your deck is going to be sending the lights to get the Black Collapse. That's then going to set up your revival spells. That's going to be able to set up your banish effects with Collapse Serpent if you do, Galactic Spiral if you do open it, and it gives you more utility cards to play around with. Then for our draw engine, we've got triple trade-ins. Again, Galactic and Nebula are both level 8s. Putting them to the graveyard or reviving them is absolutely fine. You've also got your Blue Eyes, your alternatives, and of course your Spirit Dragon as well. So this is one of the best draw cards for this deck because you don't mind some of your cards being in the graveyard. If you wanted to, you could drop your draw engine down completely and just go for an extravagance. But because we are rank 8 spam, we want to control our extra deck a little bit more and put through power plays more to win you the game and defend the game off. And I'll show you our defensive and offensive cards when we get to the extra deck as well. And then for the last of our draw cards, Double Desires, because again, you see we play a lot of level 8, so there is the risk of bricking. So you do need to have the ability of playing the Desires to hopefully unbrick you and kind of go from there. With the trading as well, you can side in Kaijus, which makes them a bit more consistently. If you wanted this deck to only go second, then I would argue that you could easily main stuff like Lava Golem because you don't really rely on your normal summon heavily, as long as you can get to the ability of special summoning out on alternative. Otherwise, you do play your Kaijus as well. You play the full Kaiju engine with Slumber. On top of that as well, like I said, if you're playing Droplet, you're fine because again, you can pretty much take out some of the cards you're like, right, okay, I need to play this card to ditch, so like Foolish Burial or Dragon's Ravine, stuff like that. Other than that, your budget option is going to be Dark Ruler no more. Then we've got our revival spells of double Return of the Dragon Lords and the single Monster Reborn. Now, arguably, you could play the third Return of the Dragon Lords, but the reason we went with Monster Reborn is just because it allows you to bring back your Link monsters. It allows you to bring back any of your other monsters that may not be a level 8 just to help you Link climb. Or it can bring back one of your opponent's monsters, so it's a little bit more utility. The one Foolish Burial and then the one Dragon's Ravine. So the Dragon's Ravine is your more consistent route in this deck of being able to send one Dragon monster from your deck to the graveyard. Now the chances are, when you've made this play with the Dragon's Ravine, that card you're going to send is going to of course be your Galactic Spiral, and then the idea is you're going to be able to special summon back your Galactic Spiral. That will then turn all the monsters you control to level 8s, and then that gives you your rank 8 plays as well. Now, Obviously, the downside is you do need to discard a card. That's where dangers come into this deck and become a little bit more consistent. But because it is just generally discard a card, you're able to send any of your brick cards. So you're able to send a Blue Eyes to the graveyard or an alternative to the graveyard, so you can bring it back with your Return of Dragon Lords. You're also then able to send any of the Cyframe package that you may no longer need as well. And that's it for the main deck. Moving on to the extra deck. So we'll start off with the XYZ. So we'll go with the rank 8s. And pretty much go from there. So your utility rank 8 is going to be your number 97 Dragulabon. Now the reason this is your utility card is because it can get you into 2 defensive cards or 1 pretty much OTK win the game card. So one of your best defensive cards can be your number 92 Heart Earth Draco, but this one could arguably be cut. Your best defensive one will be your Hope Harbinger, especially if you're going off the back of Goliath and Spheres, because then this can redirect the attack to itself to protect your Goliath. And then your OTK card that you're going to bring out is your number 100 Numeron Dragon. So straight away, this is going to be a 9k base. Not to mention, if you've had the ability to make another rank 8 dragon prior to that, he's pretty much going to be a 17,000 attack monster. And if you're comboing this off the back of Droplet, your opponent's not going to be able to stop it. And you're pretty much just going to be able to go, okay, cool, Numeron Dragon, swinging for game. Yava rank 8 because it's probably one of the best rank 8 generics in the game, and that's Ding, purely because it can protect all of your cards and it's just a summon and send, so very, very good utility on that one. Because we do play the Galaxy Soldier package, of course you've got your Nova and your Infinity. This is just your defensive option. You could easily take this engine out completely if you want to focus on going second, and that's where you can put in your level 8 dangers like your Bigfoot and your Thunderbird as well, to deal with the back row, to deal with the front row, and then build up your board of level 8s and go for just rank 8 spam. Then for the Synchros, the only one we're actually going to hard make will be the Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon, because then off the back of the Spirit Dragon you can get into your Yugioh Eyes. Spirit Dragon kind of limits your opponent a little bit. They're not as good right now in the meta. It was pretty much made as a complete negate or a complete combat to Dark Magician's Navigation, which is a bit like, cool, you made one card for this particular reason. But it's still very, very good, very, very defensive. And then jumping out into Yugioh Eyes to recycle your Blue Eyes again just gives you that other alternative. Now, like I said, it's rare you're going to actually hard make these, purely because the only times you're going to do it is if you've opened up one of the stones. And even then, if you've opened up one of the stones, you're probably going to want to link one of them off into an Anima or into a Link Karibo and then kind of loop round. So if you don't want to play the Synchros, these are your Link Karibo and your Anima. If you do want to play the Synchros, they stay as they are. So that's entirely up to you. Then for the Link monsters, of course, we've got the 1 Dragoonity Knight Romulus, 2 Dragon monsters. So straight away, if you get like a Stone, which is your normal summon, and one of the Chaos monsters, so probably Black Collapse, you link those two together into Romulus. That will then trigger Romulus's effect to get you the field spell, the Dragon's Ravine. It'll also trigger Black Collapse, which will get you the White Wyvern. Then at this point, it depends on how far you can go, depending on what else is in your hand, because then the idea is you can activate Ravine, discard any card, and send the Galactic Serpent to the graveyard. Then you can banish the Black Collapse, special summon down your White Wyvern. Then all you need to do is resolve a Blue Eyes alternative combo, and that brings alternative to the board. That will then allow you to trigger the Galactic Serpent in the graveyard. You bring Galactic Serpent back. That will then allow you to make all of your monsters level 8, so you can use the White Wyvern as rank 8 material. As soon as you do that, you can then trigger the Romulus effect. So if a dragon monster or monsters is special summoned from your hand, from the extra deck to a zone this card points to accept your endowment state, you can special summon 1 dragon or winged beast monster from your hand in defense position. So that will then allow you to special summon out the Blue Eyes that you couldn't get out of your hand and give you a secondary rank 8. So that means you can hard summon the Dragulabon, it means you can hard summon the Hope Harbinger, and it means if you're going defensively, your board, if you opened up with a Galaxy combo, or even if you didn't, could end with a Dragulabon, a Heart Earth Draco, and a Hope Harbinger. Or you can link them together, including a Romulus, and make the spheres as well. Speaking of the spheres, you play Heretic Seal with Heavenly Spheres. Best Link 2 dragon we have. So good. So during your opponent's turn, if there's any extra monster zone, which 9 times out of 10 it will be, you treat 1 monster, so it doesn't even need to be itself. Return 1 face-up non-target effect monster your opponent controls to the hand. If this is tribute summoned, special summon 1 dragon monster from your hand or deck, but make his attack 0 and defense 0. That then gives you, of course, your Goliath. That will then stop your opponent being able to special summon, and then you back that up with Hope Harbinger, meaning if they're going to attack, the attack's going to get redirected to Hope Harbinger. And then for your other defensive cards, you just generic IP Masquerena into Nightmare Unicorn. And then your boss cards, because if you use Nebula, you lock yourself into dragons. So you want to have your boss monsters being dragons. Now, we've got Borolo just to be trying to out some of those cards, like Steel Dragoon. Hold on to Dragoon, you've got a negate during your opponent's turn. Sword is just there for the pure OTK ability, and I really like the artwork. Again, in that exact example for the Dragoonity, when you bring down the Blue Eyes, what you can do is, even if you use Blue Eyes as the rank 8 material, you've then got the Galactic Serpent, and you also have Alternative and the White Wyvern that can go into the Boral Sword. So you can use White Wyvern and Alternative to go into Dragoonity, and Dragoonity to go in Boral Sword, and then you can use the ability of White Wyvern to get you the search. It also means you can overlay this Galactic Spiral and Blue Eyes and make your rank 8. And then straight away off the back of that, it means your Galactic Serpent isn't going to get banished because it will be detached, which means you can bring it back again on the next turn if you need to. But the chances are, once you've made Boral Sword, the rank 8 is either going to be Hope Harbinger, or it's going to be your Dragulon, which is then going to go into Heart and Draco, or of course it's going to go into number 100, which is pretty much going to win you a game. You could make Ding, and then straight away you've got Ding, Send, Sword, Ding combo has been known since day one of August. So you do have the ability plays there. So I was going to bring you combos, but I thought what might be a little bit better and a bit more direct, because with this deck it actually requires its hand to pretty much place itself out, is I thought I'd show you a couple of alternatives and a couple of test hands, one going first, one going second, but I will explain the simple combos as we go as well. So our open hand of 5 will be 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now this hand is actually pretty nutty. So this hand is actually going to end us on a rank 8, and it's going to end us on an Infinity. Now for the Infinity, all you need is your Galaxy Soldier plus 2 light monsters. Now straight away, that's your base minimum. That's going to get you everything you need. Then from the other cards, as long as you've got the discard ability or the melody, or obviously basically a rank 8 engine, you're pretty much good to go. So because we've got the return, we're going to be able to bring back one of the cards we discard off a Soldier. Because we've got the Blue Eyes and alternative play, we're going to be able to do that as well. So technically you don't even need to use the Melody of Awakening Dragon, but you can use it as a discard fodder. And what you're going to be doing on this one is you are going to put the Blue Eyes to the graveyard, because you're going to be able to bring that back with the return of the Dragon Lords. And then this sets you up protection, because it can protect any of your dragon monsters. So this will set you up protection for your rank 8 plays as well. So from this point on, obviously we've done the Melody Awakening Dragon. If it gets stopped, is a little bit of an annoyance, which is why you'd probably go for the Galaxy Soldier play first. But from this point on, what you're going to do is you're going to bring out your Blue Eyes, and you're going to bring out an alternative. So you've set yourself up for your plays there already, and you've got your discard fodder. Now, to make sure you don't run into Nibiru territory, what you might want to do is you might want to do your Galaxy Soldier plays first. So Galaxy Soldier play straight away can ditch an alternative, because it's only a once per turn, and then that's going to allow you to get another Galaxy Soldier from your hand. Now, this would make Infinity your 5th summon at current, because what we're going to do here is we're going to reveal the Blue Eyes in hand through Alternative's effect and summon Alternative to the board. That then means that Blue Eyes is a discard or a discardable card, so you then use your Galaxy Soldier effect to discard the Blue Eyes. You are now on your 3rd summon, you're going into your 4th summon, which is going to be your Nova, and then your 5th summon will be straight into your Infinity. There we go. Then you're going to activate your Return of the Dragon Lords, bring back your Blue Eyes, you're going to be able to overlay your Alternative in your Blue Eyes. Yes, you've pretty much used your entire board, but what you're going to go from here is you're going to go Dragolabon. Dragolabon can then use its effect to discard the Blue Eyes or detach the Blue Eyes, and go into either a Heart Earth Draco, or of course use Heart Earth Draco to attach to your Hope Harbinger. Now, the best thing about this board right here is you technically, in a way, dodge dodge Super Poly, because you've got a Dark and 2 lights. And then what you've got here is you've got a Spell Negate, you've got Omni Negate, and you've got a card that can't be targeted. Plus, you've got the ability to protect both of these if you want to. Now, alternatively, what you could have done, instead of going for the Blue Eyes and the alternative rank 8 play, is you could have made any Link 2. So you could have made your Hieratic Seals. Your Hieratic Seals would then give you an Infinity with a Goliath. But this was probably the most opportune board. Now, it did require your entire hand, but the only thing, this is specifically Galaxy Soldiers. So if you don't open up Galaxy Soldiers, you can't do this. But this is any way of getting 2 level 8s on board. So straight away, you've got your alternative, you've got your Blue Eyes and a Revival combo, you've got the Nebula Dragon combo as well. So this is basically what I wanted to show you, is that the Nebula combo as long as you've got the ability to successfully summon your alternative, it's Nebula plus Blue Eyes plus Spiral Serpent or White Dragon, and you have the ability to make your Dragula Bomb, which then gets you into Hope Harbinger defensively, or your Heartland Draco, or your number 100. So this is your 2-card OTK combo. It's just using Nebula Dragon. Everything else from that is just defensive. Now, we have to discard a lot for the Infinity Engine. So what you could replace that with, as I mentioned in the profile, is the Invoked Engine. And by doing so, what that will allow you to do is you pretty much set yourself up with a Macabre instead of an Infinity. So it really depends on which one you prefer. I'm quite a sucker for Infinity plays, but that's kind of how it is. Now let's do our OTK test, and again, all you really need is your Nebula Dragon. The only issue with going second instead is, because I kind of restricted it to a bit of a budget and didn't put droplets in here, there's no way of turning off a full board. Whereas if you do get droplets, I would highly advise, or if you do have droplets, I would highly advise putting them in and maining them. So our hand of 6 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now straight away, even though we've got 2 Nebula Dragons, we actually have our OTK potential from here. So we have the ability to kind of bait out quite a lot as well. So we're going to use our trade-in because our Galactic Spiral is going straight to the graveyard. We're going to draw 2 cards to refresh our hand. Goliath, because we're going second, is a dead card anyway. So perfectly for that, you can actually discard the Goliath and go with the Melody of Awakening Dragon. Now you could have summoned Goliath off of the Nebula Dragon because it does negate its effects. But again, that's entirely up to you on how you want to play that one out. This is of course going to give us the Blue Eyes. So we haven't really done any, we haven't gained any hand advantage. We've just fixed our hand to be what we want it to be. Now, we've set ourselves up with a Darking Graveyard. Not that we want to use that right now. But what we're going to be able to do from here is we're going to use Alternative's Effect, reveal Blue Eyes, summon Alternative down, use Alternative's Effect to pop a card. So that's one form of disruption already, or one form of board breaking potential. You're then going to use Nebula Dragon's Effect to target itself and Blue Eyes. Now, obviously, the biggest issue with this right now is that we're only going to be able to special summon dragons from our extra deck, which isn't an issue. Light and Dark Dragon specifically. So these two would come down in defense position and their effects would be negated, which is absolutely fine. Because then what you ideally want to do is you need to get a Light in the graveyard to get your Black Collapse, but you can also revive yourself your Galactic Spiral Dragon. Now, to protect yourself from Nibiru, you'd probably want to make an Omni Negate first. But if we're not worrying about Nibiru, because our opponent's got a full board, you bring back the Galactic Serpent. Now this is going to get banished when it leaves the field, unless you make a rank 8 with it. Now we're locked into Dark Dragon, so our options for Dark Dragon plays are as follows. Plus we've got the Black Collapse Serpent, which can also come out to add linked fodder for us, and the White Collapse, so don't worry about those, you've still got a lot of plays. Now I wouldn't go for Hope Harbinger because it is the defensive option, but obviously your Dragula Bomb will lead you into your number 100 or your Heart Earth Draco. So these are the monsters you can kind of go for. You could go for a Spheres if you want, but the Spheres is only going to be defensive. We're pretty much here to win the game from this point on. So what you're going to want to do here is you can overlay any of these. You can make 2 rank 8s if you want. It's entirely up to you. As long as you are detaching a material off of one of them, you still have the ability to go further. Otherwise, what you're going to be doing is you're going to go for XYZ plays. So what I would actually advise is keep 2 of these in defense. The Galactic Spiral Dragon is the only one you want to probably put back in the graveyard because it will get banished when it leaves the field. So you want to probably go these 2 here, and then you're going to detach. You want to make sure you detach this to the graveyard, not this to the graveyard. You want to detach your Blue Eyes to the graveyard. There we go. Draglabon will then reveal Heart Earth Draco and Numeron. That's going to make Numeron 9,000 attack already. Then if you were to make this a rank 8, and the only one you can do is Hope Harbinger, you would then make this a 17,000 attack monster. That's it. That's all you need. That came from 3 cards. And you've ended up with 2 rank 8s plus a pretty much game-winning card. Now, if you didn't want to make the rank 8 play, what you do also have the option for, now that you put the Blue Eyes in the graveyard, is you banish the Blue Eyes, you bring down your Black Collapse. You've got 3 monsters on the board right here. And then what you want to do is you need to have the ability to link climb up. So then what you've got to do is you've got to make sure you use these 2 here to go into a link 2. And the link 2 you're going to be going into is your Heavenly Spheres, because it's the only link 2 dragon that is a light or a dark. Then from this point on, you would trigger the Black Collapse Serpent's effect to get you your White Wyvern. White Wyvern can then banish the Black Collapse. So this is additional extension. You don't need to be doing this. And then what you do here is you'd actually link these together, and you can go into a sword, or you can go into a low dragon, entirely up to you. And you've got the ability to go if it was sword, attack, 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 shift to defense, attack. Like, you've got game. There's no way your opponent survives this unless they've disrupted you. I hope you like this. I hope it's given you a couple of ideas for your own build. Don't forget to smash the like button. If you smash the like button and get up to at least 50 likes, I'll unlock another legacy deck. And what I mean by that is we'll unlock another anime-based deck, whether that be an update to Red Dragon Archfiends or Synchrons. It could be Performer Pals. It could be Monarchs, because technically that was used in the anime. DDDs, the whole 9 yards, you name it. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Till next time, guys, as absolutely always, stay safe and happy dueling.